Good morning, Year 4. We're going to do our maths lesson today, dividing by 10. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so let's start with our flashback 4 today. So the first question says calculate 8,400 by 100. Number 2 says find the perimeter of this shape. Now remember there's a missing side here, so don't forget to calculate that. What was the distance in that side there? And then number 3, 3,000 take away 672 is the same as or equal to 2,999 take away missing number there. Okay, now think carefully about that. Look at that number and look at that number. Is it easy to work out that number? And finally, our last question is 7 times 10, nice and straightforward. Pause the video and have a go now. Okay, grab a purple pen or a different colour pencil and let's go through our answers. So 8,400 divided by 100 is 84. Find the perimeter of the shape. The perimeter is 46 centimetres. Remember, the perimeter is the distance around the edge of a closed 2D shape. So you would add together all these distances. And 3,000 take away 672 equals the same as 2,999 take away this, 671. Okay, now think about that. Why is that number like that? Well, look, it's 1 less than that one, so that one would obviously be 1 less than that number. And 7 times 10 is 70. Okay, so if you could write the learning objective today, which is dividing by 10, and today's short date is the 12th of the 1st, 21. Could you remember to underline that with a ruler if you've got one at home? Okay, now we need to remember the key things today about dividing. Now, dividing a number by another number is when we split it into equal parts or groups. So when we divide by 10, we need to find out how many groups of 10 there are in a number. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So we need to remember also that when we divide by 10, the number gets 10 times smaller. And you'll remember last week when we were multiplying by 10, you'll remember that numbers got 10 times bigger when we multiply by 10, or dividing is the opposite of multiplying. So when we divide by 10, a number gets smaller, it gets 10 times smaller. So here we have a dean of 100. We divide it by 10 and it becomes 10. We take that dean of 10 and we divide it by 10 and it becomes 1. So it's getting smaller each time. Look how it's moving in this direction. Okay, so let's look at this next number. Now we need to remember this. When we're dividing by 10, we need to find how many groups of 10 are in a number. It might be a good idea now to pause the video and to copy that into your book so you know that that's what you're doing today. When you're dividing by 10, we are finding out how many groups of 10 are in a number. Now we have this number here built in Dean. So we've got 100 plus another 100 plus 2 tens. So we have 220. I want to find out today how many groups of 10 are in 220. So if I was at school and I had my deans, I'd be able to break them up, wouldn't I? I'd be able to separate them and I'd be able to see it really nicely. So let me see if I can do that in a picture. Okay, so here are the deans all separated. So within this 100, I have 10 groups of 10, and within this 100 I have 10 groups of 10, and here in these 2 tens I obviously have 2 tens. So if we add these together, we have 10 add 10, which equals 20, plus 2 more would equal 22. So if I was to write this as a calculation, it would look like this: 220 divided by 10 equals 22. Let's have a look at another number. We're going to look at these place value counters, and again we have a number here. We have 310. I want to know how many groups of 10 are in these three lots of hundreds. So again, if I was at school, I could use my place value counters. It would look a bit like this. So within that 100, I have 10 groups of 10. So in 300, I have how many groups of 10? Let's count them. We've got 10, add another 10, add another 10, means we've got 30 groups of 10 within that 300. And then we've obviously got that 10 there, so we mustn't forget that. So if we had the calculation, it would look like this: 310 divided by 10, which would equal, well, why don't you have a go at that first? Well done. 310 divided by 10 is 31. Do you notice what's happening now? Last week when we were multiplying by 10, do you remember it looked like we were just adding a 0? That's what we've always said in our big maths, isn't it? Do you notice what's happening here? When we're dividing by 10, it looks like we're taking away a 0, doesn't it? Let's have a look at this explore question. It says here, how many groups of 10 can be made from 305 tens? So here we have a number, don't we? We have 350. How many groups of 10 do we have? Well, here we can count them. We know we've got 5 groups of 10 here, don't we? And here we have the 300 again, and we know from our last question that 300 equals 30 groups of 10. So therefore, in total, there are 35 groups of 10 in 350. Now, let's look at it on a place value grid, because sometimes it's an easier way of finding out how many groups of 10 there are using a place value grid. Now, remember last week when we used our place value grid, when we were timesing by 10, if you remember, the digits moved one place that way, didn't they, each time? They moved to the left each time, didn't they? When a number gets 10 times smaller, the digits move one place to the right. So here we have a number, don't we? We have 430. There's 4 hundreds and 3 tens. When I divide that number by 10, this is what happens to the digits. They move one place to the right. So my 3 tens become 3 ones. And my 400s become 4 tens. So when I divide 430 by 10, my answer is 43. Let's have a go on some independent ones now. So if you could pause the video, let's have a go at these questions here. I'd like you to have a go at each one of these. 220 divided by 10, 6,520 divided by 10, 3,560 divided by 10, and this one, something equals 6,250 divided by 10. Pause the video and have a go at those now. Okay, let's take a purple pen and let's mark these. So 220 divided by 10 is 22. 6,520 divided by 10 is 652. 3,560 divided by 10. Oh, I've made a mistake here. That 0 shouldn't be there. Let's take that away. Is 356. Now this one here, I've just done it back to front. So I could move that equal sign there and I could put my answer there. So 6,250 divided by 10 is 625. So that's just a different way of showing our calculation. Now I'd like you to have a go at this independently now. It says, how many groups of 10 can be made from 502 tens? What I'd like you to do first of all is write a number sentence, and then I'd like you to have a go at answering it. Remember, you could draw a place value grid to help you if you wanted to, if that makes it easier. Okay, pause the video and have a go at that now. Okay, well done. So take your purple pen, let's mark it. Now, if you're writing a number sentence, it should look like this. We've got 502 tens, and we want to make groups of 10 of that. So the number sentence would look like this. 520 divided by 10 equals 52. Right, now we're going to explore some bar models. Now, on the division bar model, you can see this. It's a bit like an addition one, isn't it? Because if I was to add all these boxes together, the total would be this. But in the division one, I've got this number and I'm going to divide it into equal groups or equal parts. Let's count how many parts I'm going to divide it into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm dividing 720 by 10, and I want to see what number I'm going to put in each box. Now remember, the bar model doesn't help us calculate our maths, but it helps us see our maths really nicely, doesn't it? So 720 divided by 10 equals. Have a go at working that out now, so pause the video. Okay, again, I've left a 0 there. 720 divided by 10 equals 72. So you would write 72 in each one of those boxes. I'm not going to do that, but you would do that in your bar model. Okay, now I'd like you to have a go at these ones now, independently. Okay, so I'd like you to carefully draw your bar model. We have a number here. What is the number? And it's being divided by how many boxes? Work out the calculation, write the number sentence, and then equals there, and then write the total in each box below. Pause the video and have a go at those two now. Okay, well done. So in this one here, we have a number at the top. We have 330. 330 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My number sentence would look like this. 330 divided by 10 is, well, you should know the answer. It is 33. Here we have another one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 500. Now this is going to be a little bit more tricky here because I have a lot of deans here. So let's count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now here I have a group of 10 deans. Now if I have a group of 10 deans, it means there is 100. So let's just circle those. This makes 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, just going to double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that would equal, oh, it's very hard to write on this, 100. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 630. 630 divided by 10, which would equal, yes, you're right, 63. Okay, let's move on to our next question. Now, our next question is our checkpoint question. So I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at this, please. It says 560 divided by 10. Okay, take a purple pen, let's mark it. 560 divided by 10 equals 56. Now, if you feel confident today and you got the checkpoint right, okay, you can probably start straight away. Or maybe these bar models here, if you'd like to do a little bit of a practice on those. But if you feel really confident, you can start straight on to step 3 and you can work your way through this. Now, on these ones, you fill in the sentences and you write the sentences out. And then on this one here, you need to prove your answer. So you would write, I know this because, and remember, you're going to have some calculating in that. Then you'd move on to step 4 and have a go at these questions. Now remember to read them through very carefully. Remember that here we're talking about money. So you might need to do some converting here. And here we're looking at lengths in meters. And remember, if you don't put the value in money, in coins, in pounds and pence, and in meters, you won't get the answer correct. And then finally, a digging deeper. Okay, now read it through very carefully. If you're feeling less confident, you'll start on step 1. So if you didn't get the checkpoint right today and you want a little bit more practice, you can have a go at these. So for each one of these questions, you would write down a number sentence and then answer it. You could look back in the video and see how I did it before. And then step 2, you've got some calculations again, but this time we're just working straight into digits. And then you have a go at the bar models. Now, I'm going to pause on each one so you can have a look at it. So pause on the screen that's appropriate to you. Well done. Okay, now please remember to mark your work before you hand it in to me today. Okay, so remember that the next set of screens are where the answers are. So give your answers, look at them really carefully, perhaps do it with your grown-up to check you're answering it correctly. Okay, well done everybody in year 10. I'm year 10, I've called you year 10 again, didn't I? Year 4. I look forward to seeing your work later on. I hope you get on okay.